Hey everybody, Ironobie here, and in keeping up with the uploads of videos, we have, of course, Thursday. It's the TWAB. We got the TWAB going on, and I thought I'd just go through, brim through some stuff because there's not a ton here, but there is some that is interesting. Like there's nothing super crazy. Like we've got again, they talk about Festival of the Lost a little bit. Just talking about generally just a seasonal event, and Zavala not being very scared of anything except for his own self-doubt, if the most recent lore article they put out is to go by. But just Tuesday kicked off the Festival of the Lost, so we've also unveiled a few treats that will be coming your way in November. Beyond Light is opening the doors to Europa, renewing your quest for Sweet Precious Loot, in case you missed it. They got their Weapons and Gear page, because we had the trailer, this sweet trailer, which I went over in the last video. Link in the description below if you want to kind of see those exotics, and kind of just maybe even just a breakdown hypothesis about which ones are going to get nerfed within the first month. So again, Warlocks get a sweet Gauntlet. They don't mention Titans in here. I've noticed that. It's like, oh, Warlocks get poison that spreads through enemies. Oh, Mask of Barcus looks pretty sweet for hunters. No mention, not a single mention of the Titans getting anything. So that's telling. It's almost like they know. So, but this was the most interesting. Like, there's something they talked about on mods, and I may go over that briefly. But I thought this was the most interesting part of the whole thing. Burn Bright, New Light. So over the last few years, there's been a lot of great feedback about the player experience in D2. Currently, players are given a single mission to acquaint it with some basic gameplay. This is a big problem that people said they had when New Light came out. It didn't really tell you anything. It was very non-descriptive. But again, this has led to some confusion. Many players didn't exactly know where to start. Who's that robot with meticulously cleaning an auto rifle? What do I do with these engrams? Who is Zavala? So they restructured it for Beyond Light to come out, which is something I think we forgot about. We were entering this point where it was like, if you didn't play Destiny, you probably weren't going to pick it up. But now, starting on November 10th, players will start in the same way that we always have. You're going to be knocked out in the middle of a Russian card farm, and you're going to wake up. Ghost is going to get you. You're going to be running through just like base Destiny 1. But now, instead of a ship, you stumble onto like a dude, like another Guardian, like an NPC player, this guy. And this is really interesting. And I was considering making a new player, a new character just to do this, but I'm going to show you in a little bit later why you don't have to necessarily do that. So Shaw Han is his name. And he's on a mission in his fire team to investigate what the Hive are up to in the Cosmodrome. This sounds very similar to the introductory Hive mission that kind of, I think, gets you off. It's like, oh, the Hive are on Earth from D1, and it's like, you should go see what they're doing on the moon, and then you go to the moon, and then eventually that's like, the stranger eventually leads you onto Venus. So I'm seeing that might be a similar, maybe they're different, that'd be interesting. But he'll show you the ropes and help you find your way among the gameplay and systems of Destiny 2. And from what they describe, it seems like it's probably going to be pretty in-depth, I have to say. So as a new player, you'll spend your first few missions getting acquainted with the state of the world in Destiny 2. Opportunities to take a few weapons out for a spin, find some engrams, try different armor, and see the progression systems, and have some time to learn how to navigate the user interface to understand quests, bounties, collections, and more systems. All of this will happen before you set foot in the tower, so it sounds like you're going to be on Earth for quite a while. And our hope is that the refreshed New Light experience will give much more welcome to Guardians as they play D2 for the first time. This would have been better. The rework for this would have been nice when the game either went, well, it did do it when it went free to play, but when it went on Game Pass. When it went on Game Pass, I think that would have been a really good time to bring that back in. Because I don't know how many new players are jumping on Beyond Light. I know a lot of, you're returning, if you're playing Destiny rather, fairly often. I don't know that you don't need this. You know what Destiny is, you know how the systems works. It's nice for the new people to come in, but I don't know who. I would be interested, and maybe you let me know in the comments below. I would love to see how many people are like, oh, Beyond Light, Destiny's getting a new expansion. Maybe I'll try Destiny. I would like to know, because I have this feeling that if you're in Destiny, you know what you're getting into. If you're not into Destiny, you already know what it is. But who knows? Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I would like to be proven wrong. So with the Cosmodrome coming out of the DCV. This gives us the opportunity to overhaul our player experience. Veteran players out here, which is a lot of us, I would imagine. This will be a stroll through memory lane. So again, he's saying, while we can't go to the Plague Lands, quarantine per Vanguard orders, which kind of stinks. But that's Rise of Iron. That makes sense. Makes sense why that wouldn't be back. So again, you'll be able to explore much of what you remember from your first place. Pretty much the entire Cosmodrome, Moth Yard, Spin Metal, heading down the steps to face off against powerful Hive Knights. And there will be occasional moments, like they say here, lost sectors. I'm going to they say right here, upon a lost sector that you haven't seen before. So they've it's not it is a scaled 2 area, but there might be some differences. Maybe some Scorn show up. Who knows? That could be kind of interesting, but it's nice to see that they've at least put lost sectors. I would expect that at a minimum. If they didn't put anything, it was literally just the Cosmodrome map. It didn't have any lost sector. Didn't have any lost sectors. I believe they're not doing adventures anymore, so that would suck. But if it had no lost sectors, I'd go like, it's a nice patrol area, but I don't know, what does this do for the story? We'll have to see when November 10th comes and we get Beyond Light. And again, this is the big thing I said earlier. If you want to do that, and the introductory mission sounds cool, maybe you don't want to make a new character and you want to go through it. It says right here, if you're an existing player and you would like to go through the New Light quest, it will also be available to you on November 10th. So believably, you can just do it, I guess, from the main menu, or maybe you have to go find it. But it's nice that you don't have to make a brand new character. I might, though, because I have space for a hunter, and I've just never done it. So, again, excited to see the revamped New Light experience. That's cool. I like this. I think this is a cool system. I think it's something that the community's been asking for. And it's nice that they're doing it. It doesn't really affect me, but it's nice if new players would get in. Again, I don't know how many new people are like, Beyond Light, I'm going to get on Destiny now. And I've never played Destiny before, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. But as I saw with the thumbnail, and why you're probably mostly here, because the TWAB otherwise really wasn't super interesting besides a lot of stats and modifications. He's holding what I'm pretty sure it looks a lot like a Khvostov. The butt looks different because I think the regular Khvostov butt is like wood. But he does have a Khvostov, and it does say you'll be able to like maybe get an exotic, as if you're just starting out, and see what collections and bounties is, and see what all that stuff. So you get a run through of what exotics are. So I wonder if maybe the free exotic you get is Khvostov. If you get a free exotic. They made it very heavy, like they wanted to show you everything. This is what an exotic is. Here's what a blue is. Here's how collections work. Here's how a bounty works. So this could be really interesting. It's actually a nice little thing that I think we take for granted. But again, not many veteran players will, be serious unless there's Khvostov behind it. I'm still going to do it because I want to see how it goes, because I think it could be very, very interesting. But yeah, Khvostov, maybe that's coming back. That'd be nice to have another exotic, another hidden exotic with Hawkmoon that wasn't displayed in the trailer from yesterday. And then we go in. I don't know if I'm going to hit on mod modifications, because this is a pretty meticulously boring sort of way that they're revamping armor mods and weapon mods. So I'm just going to try to go through this real quick. I don't want this to be like a 20-minute video where I talk for another 12 minutes at this point about here's how all the mods are changing. So all the weapon-oriented armor mods, hand cannons, fusion rifle, loader finder, that thing, have been changed to any energy type. As a result of the above, all arcs charged with light mods now activate their second perk if you have any other arc mod equipped on the same armor piece, or if you have any other arc charged with light mod socketed in any other armor piece you are wearing. Again, it's just a lot of jargon. So weapon-oriented armor mods, skin, hand cannon, loader, have been changed to any energy type. I thought they already were any energy type, but I think there were some that were like fusion rifle was specifically on like fire armor, or fire armor. So again, an enhanced mod rebalances. All mods that have an enhanced version of the mod, enhanced hand cannon loader, whatever, have a base mod efficiency increased to match the enhanced version of the mod. So again, a lot of jargon. Some mods have moved to different slots to create more complete competition for mod armor sockets across armor pieces. For example, the fast ready mods have moved to the arms sockets. In essence, we're making enhanced mods cheaper and more accessible, and deprecating. Is it deprecating? I think it's deprecating or depreciating. It's deprecating the lesser mods, raid mods. Starting in Season 12, Last Wish, Guard of Salvation, upcoming Beyond Light raid armors will now drop with a 5th dedicated armor mod socket that is exclusively for the mods related to that raid. Last Wish and Guard of Salvation armor acquired prior to Season 12 will not have this armor socket, but will still be able to use the mods related to that raid in the new Legacy armor mod. So if the raids were really giving you trouble, you could regrind out an armor to try and get this real 5th slot so you can run Last Wish, Guard of Salvation. We still have Garden of Salvation and Last Wish when Beyond Light comes out, but what we don't know are those raids relevant? Or is it just old loot? Are the raids there just for being there and no one's going to run them? Or do they actually drop Pinnacle gear? Because if Last Wish and Garden of Salvation will drop Pinnacle gear and Beyond Light, that's pretty sweet to have 2 raids drop armor and weapons and stuff. But I have the feeling that's not going to be that. That would be disappointing. And we just, again, we have two raids that just sit there and no one does them. Anti-taken mods from Last Wish will only function in the Last Wish. So this is one thing, like, some stuff worked outside of the raid, and now that won't be the case anymore. Anti-hive mods from the Leviathan will be destroyed, so they'll be destroyed. Anti-fallen raid mods from the Scourge of the Past will be destroyed. Okay, so the decision to give raid armors a 5th mod socket dedicated solely to its raid mods should not only make the raid armors a more valuable reward, but only in the raids, but also should compensate for the restriction of the usage of these raid mods with the ability to use the armor to craft your build both in and out. So I guess the whole point of giving you a raid dedicated slot was so that you had more space to customize your armor modifications, because it kind of stinks to have a mod on your armor that's exclusively used in the raid, and so when you're not in the raid, it's just sitting there on your armor, like, not doing that much. So again, regarding anti-hive, anti-fallen, they've proven to be problematic in Gambit, clear divide between the haves and the haves and the have-nots, and significantly reduce the challenge of dungeons. I should run those because I'm trying to run a solo dungeon right now, and I should do that before they change it. And there's a whole thing about, again, combat mods. This will be the last thing I read out because everything else is just like Festival of the Lost Fashion Show. You can earn an emblem. Alright. All armor released in Beyond Light in Season 12, all Last Wish and all Garden Salvation armor acquired starting in Season 12, that's Beyond Light season, and all armor 2.0 exotic armor pieces, including those already possessed by us. We have a lot of 2.0 armor. We'll have a combat-style mod socket. Blech. In Season 12, this socket will accept an all Charged with Light and Warmind cell mods. So again, originally, you could only have some Charged with Light or some Warmind cells in, like, very specific armors. And that's been changing. They've been changing that up recently, but it looks like going forward, it'll just be everything will be able to use Warmind cells. So they took the feedback that everyone was like, these Warmind cells are really cool, but after this other season, the last season, we can't use them anymore. It's kind of disappointing. All Armor 2.0 acquired during Seasons 8 through 11 up till now have had their seasonal mod sockets replaced with a single unified legacy mod socket that could socket all Charged with Light mods, Warmind cell mods, Nightmare Hunt mods, all Garden of Salvation mods, and all Last Wish rate mods. But so it sounds like the armor going forward won't be able to accept Nightmare Hunts, Garden of Salvation, or Last Wish raid mods. That's what it sounds like this is saying. I don't know what that means in the long term, but yeah, again, this stuff, the mods, yeah, cool. It's a lot of just jargon. It's a lot of jargon. I think personally the best, the most exciting thing, I think, is this with the return of Khvostov and, you know, the new light experience. I think this is the best thing. Festival of the Lost, but I think this has been the most interesting thing for me as a veteran player is the new player experience. Anyway, guys, that has been the video. Just wanted to run down kind of the TWABs. It's kind of been, we didn't get any sort of big announcement from Bungie today, whether it was like, you know, here's a look at, you know, here's a look at the armors, and here's a look at the map and stuff. So we've kind of, you know, we're just, let's a slow grind to get to Beyond Light. November 10th, cannot get here fast enough. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I've been Ironobie, and I'll see you guys in orbit. Bye.